Hello and welcome. This is LifePrax, and in this video we are going to talk about stroke and the risk factors that you can prevent and avoid stroke. Let us move forward and see what is basically a stroke. It is of two forms. One is called hemorrhagic stroke, where there is bleeding of blood vessels, and another is an occlusive stroke. That means there is occlusion of blood vessels, and that is why, as you can see on your screen here, for example, here the blood supply cannot go further. Here there is occlusion, here there is an occlusion of blood vessel here, and the blood cannot go to the other parts of the brain. This is the most common form of stroke. What it's written is in German, so you can excuse that. Further, we see what are the different blood vessels that supply the brain. For you, it is not very significant. These are academic photos, which I, being a doctor, teach medical students and other doctors about different conditions. So I use these photos for that purpose. But here it is just to show that there are several blood vessels. As you can see, one comes directly from the heart here, carotid arteries. It's coming from the heart and it going to the brain. Another is the spinal artery. It is also coming from part of the heart, from one of the blood vessels over there, but it is coming through the vertebral column. Okay, so these are two major arteries that supply the brain. Okay, moving further, we see what are the different areas of the brain. As you can see, there are 4-5 different colors over here. Different areas of the brain control different activities in the body. The physical activity of legs, arms, the thinking, memory, all these are controlled by different areas. So depending upon which area of the brain is injured, that means which area of the brain has lost blood supply, the function of the brain is also reduced in that area. That is why the symptoms are very different in different patients. Here, it's a very simple way to recognize an beginning of stroke. In abbreviation, it's called FAST. Means if you have someone in front of you who matches these 5 or 4 things, then you should get worried, or the patient should get worried, and you should seek medical assistance as soon as possible. First one, face. One side of the face is drooping. That means you will see on the mouth, instead of this kind of mouth, there will be an angle of mouth will be drooping, it will be falling down. There could be salivation from this angle of mouth. Person will not be able to chew, person will not be able to whistle, person will not be able to bring his teeth together. So in this condition, as you can see also in this photo, you just ask the person to clench his teeth, and there you will see a clear asymmetry in the teeth. Okay, so person cannot clench his teeth properly. Okay, this is face. Then arms. There is one-sided weakness. One side, for example, if the person can raise this hand normally, this cannot be moved. Okay, so this is a weakness. Speech difficulty that are of different forms. One is that it's called arthralgia in medical terms. That means dysarthry. That means person is not able to speak. The movement of the face or of the mouth is not proper. Okay. Another form here in speech is that the movement of the mouth is proper, but the person is not able to find words. So one is a mechanical problem in the mouth, the muscles of the mouth, and another is the process in the brain. And then time, because here time is brain, it is called. So as soon as the symptoms develop, it should be an emergency. It is an emergency. One has to get to the hospital soon, and there has to be a CT scan done in the brain to find out if there is a bleed or if there is a occlusion of blood vessels over there. we will see what are the most common risk factors which can be modified, which can be changed. That is why it is significant to learn these things, that with blood pressure, most people who have a stroke have high blood pressure. Blood pressure is a very common condition throughout the world, but it is also easily modifiable with medicines, with diet, with exercise, with meditation, with yoga. It is doable. And still, if you are not doing it, if your blood pressure is high, then you have very high chance of stroke along with other organ diseases. As you can see, the blood pressure of 120 to 80 is normal. When it is little raised, it's okay. But what is most crucial is that 180 to 120. It's an emergency then. Okay, it has to be seen by the doctor immediately. When you are in this phase, it has to be treated with medicines. This phase one does not treat with medicine. People say with diet and exercise and yoga and lifestyle changes it can be covered. It has to be covered. It has to be reduced. The next risk factor that you can change, it's in your hand, is diabetes. People who do not have diabetes, good, but people who have diabetes is also one of the very common disease nowadays. It comes in combination of blood pressure, diabetes and metabolic syndrome, it is called together, with hypercholesteremia. What are the normal levels of sugar? Early in the morning when the test is done, it should be less than 100. And after meal when the test is done, it should be less than 180. Okay. If your blood sugar levels are not within this range, then probably you should get yourself checked by the doctor. Diabetes increases the risk of stroke very significantly. Then comes the next factor is diet. As I have said, blood pressure and diabetes, they have to be controlled. And diet plays a very significant role to control these things. Fruits and vegetables, frequent meal, less quantity meals help maintain your blood sugar levels and your blood pressure. What you should avoid is the salty food, saturated, unsaturated fat and high calorie diet and binge eating. That should be avoided. Here we see that typical symptom of a chest pain is in a elderly man after eating, because all the blood supply goes to the stomach for digestion of the food and the heart gets less supply. Climbing the stairs also we can see here. This way, this is a typical textbook photo used to teach medical students, and I believe it will give you also some perspective about the chest pain that can be because of all those metabolic diseases that we just talked. It's called angina pectoris in medical terms. The pain is called angina pectoris in medical terms. Pain, angina pectoris and stroke have very little to do with each other, but they both have same risk factors, that is the blood pressure and diabetes and high cholesterol level. What happens in both of them is that in stroke there is a occlusion. As you can see here, this is an artery, normal artery, narrowing of the artery. This happens in heart, then you call it heart attack like this one. When this happens in brain, then you call it stroke. So the mechanism is the same, only all different organs have different names. Other risk factors, as I have mentioned, high blood cholesterol, carotid artery disease. That means carotid artery disease, same here you see coronary artery disease, that means the arteries of the heart are involved, and same here carotid artery disease, that means these plaques are in the blood vessels of the brain. Peripheral artery disease, this is another term which causes this occlusion in peripheral arteries and blood vessels in arms and legs. And atrial fibrillation is a rhythm disease of the heart. There you cannot do much. Only what you can do is regular checkup and proper anticoagulation medicines like warfarin, or nowadays there are new medicines like Eliquis and Xarelto and everything. So, but then this has to be checked by your doctor. These are the risk factors and problems that could cause stroke. I will make more videos and talk about other factors where you cannot do much, but it is good to know. And also I will talk about other diseases. Aim of this channel, LifePrax, is to build health and motivate people to be more productive. That means here we know that to be successful in life, you need to be more productive, you need to work harder, you need to be smarter, but all happens under the basement or the background of health, good health. Without good health, you cannot earn money, you cannot invest properly, you cannot think properly. You're always concerned about your health. So we want to build a healthy society which is more productive, which becomes more entrepreneurial and becomes more wealthy in process. Alright, thank you very much for your time, and please like this video, subscribe to this channel. If you have special requests or particular things that you would like to know, please write it in comment. This is Deepak Mishra. I am a doctor by profession working in Germany since last 6 years. Before that, I have been trained in India and I have worked a couple of years there as well. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.